last
Okay.
the last class.
All right, go ahead. You can share screen. Go ahead, pull it up.
All right. Boom. Okay. Let me full screen this. So this time what I did was paid attention to those wicks like how we did last time. On the 1 hour. So I went from the 1 hour to the 15 to the 5 in this case. Let me start further back here. Um, so I noticed that there was some support in this area with some of the wicks.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I took that, I highlighted it, marked that area for support, went down to the 15 to kind of like see what was really going on there, and that's where I drew my market structure. We had some higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then just some highs and then lows, and then highs and then a lower low. Um, Let me make this a little bit more clear so you can see it better. Um, and so I identified some opportunities, some buys and some sells there,
Mm-hmm.
um, that could have been executed based off of the fibs. So I drew a fib level from point A to this point B.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Boom, right there. Now I did have a question for you, Vontae. When so I noticed that price came into this zone. So this would be once it passed this, that would be, I mean, that means that it's now in the 38.2 zone, right? Once it breaks this line right here for 23
Well,
points.
well, first off, you're in a downtrend, so it's like, why would you have your fibs? Why would you have your fibs like in that direction? Are you trying to like counter trend? Like,
Yeah, I was trying to catch this counter trend to come up to because this was a level of resistance.
right, right, okay, but it's like,
So I'm working against the trend. So it
yeah,
would be smart to do that.
no, it's just risky. It's just super risky.
Got you.
It's like I would rather wait and just catch the downtrend move because the downtrend move is probably going to be like a lot more smooth, you know,
Got you.
and versus like you trying to catch that. Like you basically like I mean, yeah, like it could be like a quick move or whatever, especially because it made that higher low point right there on that 38.2. So that's smooth. Like, don't get me wrong, that's smooth. That's a great buy opportunity right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the thing is, like, far as like when you talk about your workflow and you talk about maintaining, that's when you would be maintaining on like M5, you know what I mean? And just waiting to see like when that M5 structure starts to transition. And like you say, you would be actually trying to maintain that order until it hits your resistance. Once it hit that resistance, that's TP. That's when you would pretty much like just take profit.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because you know you're counter trend trading. You know what I'm saying? But if you're
Got
gonna if you're
you.
gonna counter trend, fibs and everything look perfect. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you do it. And you want to be like on M15, M5 though. You know what I'm saying? But structure
Yeah. Okay.
structure is great on N15, so that's cool. But if you entered at that buy at 38.2, you would definitely just want to make sure that you maintain on M5.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. All right. Um, I noticed. So okay. Here, pretty much same thing. So my fibs from this point to this point right here. Let me drag it out a little bit so it's cleaner to see. Boom. Um, So price came down, retrace back up here to the 78.6 zone, which this is okay. I see what happened here. So this is why I got confused.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I got confused was I knew that I could have entered a sell over here. Let me get rid of this fib real quick so I can explain it. I knew that I could have entered a sell somewhere here because it respected that resistance level. And I got the confirmation of that second trailing bearish candle because we have a bearish engulfing
Mm-hmm.
and followed by another bearish candle. So I looked at that as confirmation
Okay.
uh for a sell. Now how would I have timed that? Um without the fibs, I wouldn't have been able to.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have been able to cash down the fib from the fib level from this point because this I have this as
That's what
another
I'm saying because your fibs is backwards, so you wouldn't have been able to see it from a sell perspective. You would have had
uh,
to draw your fib from that high that's up there down to where you have point A at, and that would be your point B actually. Right.
got you. Okay. So it really would have been from this point.
Boom. Down there to that wick right there. Yep. Boom. And keep dragging it out to the right so that way you can actually see how the fib levels line up with everything. Yeah, and then bring it down. Yep. Boom. Right. So now that you see it like that, you see it's a
38.2.
exactly.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So I just got to look more to the left for more detail, especially when
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. It's like you was too
following the
zoomed in.
trend.
Yeah,
Got you.
man.
Okay.
Especially on the lower time frame, you always want to like make sure you like zooming out some, like so you can actually see what's going on.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, last call that helped me out a lot, what you had me do,
mm,
because I never did that before.
mm,
Which is identify like on the 1 hour, whether it's on the 1 hour, the daily, or the 4 hour, but
mm.
where the wicks, like highlighting the wick zones,
Yeah,
and paying attention to the activity that's really going on there because there's a lot of detail, especially at the mere fact that it's just respecting it. It's just
right.
respecting it. So it's pretty clear as day.
Even if you pull that feedback out, I'm gonna show you something else, and this is where it just comes into like being patient and stuff like that. Like if you put that feedback up, like
Mm-hmm.
how you would have wanted to enter that like for the perfect sell opportunity. Boom, boom. Right. You would have took a counter trend line as well, right? So you would have grabbed the trend line, boom, and put it where point A is. Boom. Yup. Right there off that wick right there. Yup. And into the future. Boom. Yup. There.
Mm.
So then yup. Then go down to M5. Yeah, man. You got a sexy candle right on the back side of your trend line. So that would have been my entry. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
whoo. Yeah, right there. Yup.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
That's beautiful. And this is when candlestick analysis comes plays a role too, right? Is on these smaller time frames.
Yep,
Like
candlestick analysis, major market patterns. You know what I mean? Because we already know at the high coming from the higher time frame that we're at 38.2. This is the second touch of our 38.2. So we're expecting an aggressive push towards the downside, right?
yeah.
We're seeing heavy resistance at 19311 as well, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and I guarantee you, if you go to the line chart right now, it'll look like a triple top. Right. So it's like a triple top kind of up there, like 1, 2, 3. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
being able to do that as well is just being dynamic. You know what I mean? Like just being able to be dynamic in how you view the market and how you go about certain things. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
Then
Got you. Okay.
you go back to the candlestick chart. But yeah, so just being able to see that, boom, you get in there. Of course, stop loss would have been, right above that resistance, right above your exhaustion zone, and then we could have aimed for TPs based off of H1. Just looking for that previous resistance to be, previous support to be hit down there first, and then
Yeah.
being able to understand it with that how the higher time frames are looking. So we would have went to like H1 around that time frame, around that time. And then around that support, we would have seen, bearish bear or still being like a lot of bearish activity around that support over there to the left. Yeah.
Like all the way to this left over here.
No, where we just were,
Oh,
Yeah. So so it would be right there to the right where your 0% is. My bad. I was
okay.
yeah, over there. Yep, right there. Yep. So that
Right.
big bearish candle and that momentum we would have seen and we
Mhm.
would have been cool. We could have held our order, to try to get the TP, and then you see that tweezer bottom down there, and then it gave you that bullish engulfing that could have let you know, some type of warning signs that it was about to get ready to transition. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
candlestick analysis, man. You know what I mean? Like just being able to lock in and really lock in and understand what's going on, and if you would have understood that was a tweezer bottom, which is a reversal bullish pattern, and then understood how it probably broke some type of resistance on the lower time frame and then went up and then gave you that retest, I'm pretty sure you could have got in on that retest to catch that big bullish candle going up, you know what I mean, going back up. So it's just
Yeah.
about how deep do you want to go with this shit, you know what I'm saying, as far as analyzing and being on your shit. Because when you on your shit, bro, like you catch that shit going both ways. Like it don't matter. You gotta know what time frames you're going off of. Sometimes you're going, and it's about every time frame. It's never about one time frame. It's about all time frames. Because
Yep.
sometimes you're gonna be able to see the momentum better off the weekly. Sometimes you're gonna be able to see it off of H4. Sometimes you're gonna be able to see it off of M30 and 5. Sometimes you're gonna need to be on M1. You know what I'm saying? In tight areas. So it's just about being able to understand, having that time frame correlation, understanding your confluence areas, and then being able to execute off of your confluence areas as well. And then, like I said, being dynamic enough to know what tools you need, like being able to use that counter trend line and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So,
Right. Okay.
yeah,
Now that was clean. That was thank you. Now that was clear as day.
yeah, bro.
So pretty much same thing. I did the same exact thing there. I noticed that there was a transition right here. Um at this level here. Well, would that really count as a trend? Okay, so my question is if we see a transition on the 1 hour, does that mean that on the upper time frame is also a transition? Like on the higher time frame?
Not necessarily. It just depends on
Okay.
what time frame you analyzing your structure off of.
Okay. Um,
So you would go to the higher time frame to see if it is there, and if it is, then you understand that that's a thick pattern. You know what I mean? Like that's real volume. But if it's not there, like for instance, if you see like a higher low point or 23.6 type movement, and you're unsure about it on the H1, and then you go to H4 and it's not shown on H4, then you know what I mean. It's just a pause in the market. It's just nothing. It's nothing real. But if you go to H4 and say it's a 38.2 pullback, and on H4 you actually see the pullback a little bit, and you understand that was like a real pullback that you could actually use to try to get in on it on like a H4 type of move for like
Gotcha.
continuation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What did I do here? So, because I put transition here, but I think I seen that on the 15, like somewhere on the 15-minute
Okay.
is where, because we seen higher high. Let me fix this a little bit. It's the wrong candle. Um, so it must have been on the fifth. It must have been on the 5 minute that I seen that. Yeah. So when I went to the 5 minute, I seen that because it was what we had some higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low. I didn't really
Okay.
count this as a because I
So
this
where
was
are you basing everything? So we're on N5 right now, but where are you basing your structure off of?
off of the 1 hour.
So show me on the 1 hour first. Remember, we got to see it on the higher time frame before we go down to the lower time frame. Because you being on the lower time frames too much, you'll get faked out as far as like the data. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything is happening so quick. And you got to remember it's happening very, very quick on the lower time frame. So you want to make sure that you're on the higher time frames majority of the time being your H1 or H4.
Okay. Because what I didn't hear is I didn't even pay attention to higher highs or higher lows being formed on the 1 hour. I just paid attention to where the wick action was.
And that's okay. That's good. That's good. But you just want to make sure that you pay attention to both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
never about just one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're all connected. Yeah. So highlighted this zone here. See that there was some type of support here.
Mhm.
So took that to the 15 minute to get some more detail in regards to what was going on over there. And so yeah, I guess you could say there was some higher high here. Not consider that a higher low.
But that's not really like a point of structure because that's
Yeah,
just like a 23.6 move on an N15 time frame. So it's like you can't even really call that structure.
right, right. So the high, okay,
High is up there, right?
it's up here. Yeah. So I higher high,
But
higher.
why would you pull your fib out from the bottom point A being that bullish wick down there? Nope, go down. There you go. Yep, right there. And up at the top. Yep. You gotta remember you gotta zoom out too. So place your fib, yep, and then zoom out. Zoom out some. Out. You zooming in. Zoom out. There you go. There. Keep zooming out. Keep zooming out. Yeah, you gotta be able to see some data, man.
Okay.
Too far in. Yep. Now bring it over to the right. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Like right there. Yeah.
Right.
Because like you got to be able to see what you need, man. You know what I mean? So now you have and just make sure that 100% is on the bottom of that bullish wick, so that way you're getting the most accurate data. Yeah, make sure it's at the bottom, all the way at the tip, the bottom. Oh, now bring the 0% at the top up. You gotta drag it up from the right side, from the right side, from the right side. Yeah, right there. Yeah. All right. So for now you have your point A and point B up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So delete those other point A and point B stuff labels, so that way we can see what's going on in that buy and sell. Okay, so now we have a point A and point B, right? So then
Yep.
the market begins to pull back, right? It starts counter trends to 61.8, where we see our first level of support that is respected, right?
Yep.
Gives us tested candles, right? From tested candles, we have some type of bullish push, right? Initiation that starts to happen there, right? Where the market creates some level of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that point, minor level of resistance comes back, gives us a double tap on 61.8, right? From there, we get a break of that resistance, right? So that's where you would have drew your random line from that point of resistance. So grab a random line, and at the median of that
Talking
no,
about like right here,
yeah, no up
the rhythm line. I'm trying to see where the rhythm line.
at the resistance. So going
Oh,
up,
right here.
going
Oh,
up
go boom right over here.
there. Yep, right there. All right. So yep. So once you see that initiation is broken there, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you could have went to M5 to see the break.
Yo.
Right, and on M5 you could clearly see the break.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. It gives you some level of support. So then you could have drew like some type of M5 support line down there if you wanted to.
Yo.
Um,
Like right here.
right,
So
right, right. And seeing that it was just tested candles, respecting that level of support the whole time. And then it came and gave you like that last kiss on your exhaustion zone. And
mm-hmm.
that would have been a perfect entry, but if not, you could have waited on like that candle right there,
Yeah.
and that would have been a good entry right there. Yep. And the stop loss could have been, wet right at the tip of your exhaustion zone. And then you could have took that up, to its negative 27% to your TP.
Wow, and that's exactly where it went to. Yeah. Okay. Would you have gotten in somewhere over here as well?
You could have taken the entry over there. Yeah,
It just would have been a short. You would just I just would probably wouldn't have.
that would have been more like a confident entry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been no problem. No problem at all.
Okay.
That would have been still good risk to reward. That still would have been great risk to reward. Like I said, it's the second time it hit 61.8 and stuff like that. So that would have been just you playing off your technical. That would have been great.
Gotcha.
Somebody waiting for like more confirmations and stuff like that. That's how they would have went about it. But either way, that's two options. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
great,
Okay.
perfect, bro.
Tip the chart.
Yeah, workflow looks good though, man. I can't really lie. Workflow looks really good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just certain things like, fib placement levels and stuff like that, like making sure that you on point with those things so that way, you're getting that most accurate data as far as your projections.
Yeah. Okay. Mm. And that just gets better just through reps, through repetition.
Oh
Just
yeah,
keep.
yeah, 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 man. We always in the
Yeah.
gym doing reps. We always in the gym doing reps. That's what it comes down to. You know,
Yeah.
mind over matter. You just gotta put the reps in, put the screen time in, study the candlesticks. Get used to the emotions that you're gonna have.
Yep.
Get used to the drawdown, your usual drawdown. So you're comfortable while you're trading with your pair. Get used to the relationship of the volatility and the time because timing is everything. You know
Nice.
what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, and just buy low and sell high, and play off of your technicals, like you said. Would this have been a great entry? Yes, that would have been a great entry. That's playing off your technicals,
Mm-hmm.
and just building that confluence, building those confirmations. You know what I'm saying? And wait until the market actually presents those confirmations with closed candles. You know what I'm saying? So that way, the volume is actually closed, is printed, and yeah.
Okay. You had said something early in regards to like counter trending, right? Now, if I'm so like for example, like what we seen earlier that how we were in the downtrend, but I was trying to catch the counter trend.
Mhm.
Now, is that where when I'm looking at the overall trend, how far back should I if I'm doing my setups on the 1 hour, where should I be looking for the overall trend at
If
the
you're
1 hour?
doing your setups off the 1 hour, then you shouldn't be counter trading unless you seeing it off like daily H4. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you're in the downtrend and you see like a daily support, H4 support, then it's cool to go ahead and try to, um it's cool to counter trend and take that trade because it's probably gonna be in that counter trend for a while. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool to capitalize off of that. Just understand the risk. You know what I mean? So you want to adjust as far as like lot size and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
also, you would be expecting, first TP would be 38.2 because we would be expecting the first lower high point to be 38.2. So
Right.
that's how you would go about that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So again, just me overthinking, but I'm getting some clarity. I'm getting a lot of clarity
No, that's great,
from
bro.
that. So okay. Mm. So then, what do you think? Uh, Areas of focus for me. I know you had said major market major market patterns, candlestick analysis, and
Fib level placement, like understanding, directional bias as far as fib level and fib level placement. On a uptrend it's bullish wick to bullish wick, and downtrend bearish wick to bearish wick.
yep.
And then other than that, understanding, when you should be using your counter trend line, you know what I mean, to see the shift in momentum from buyers to sellers or sellers to buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And just understanding like your time frame correlation, like it's about all time frames and just putting a bigger story together, and being intentional about how you're interacting with the markets, like when you're interacting with them.
Okay. All
Be
right.
intentional about the trade. Like, is the trade going to be based off of H1? If it's based off of H1, then you need to be closing off of H1 structure, not in 15 structure, not in 5 structure. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it based off of H4? Is it based, like, it's okay to see certain things and they give us warning signs, like I told you in the 3DC. Like, it's okay to see certain things and see the warning signs, and then to be able to be objective with your bias. That's where it has to be a thin line. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the psychology comes into play, right? And being able to do that is the reps. It's the reps. It's
Yeah.
the reps. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yep.
And when I'm looking for entries on the smaller time frame, but my exits I'm looking for the on the bigger time
Right,
frame.
but it depends on it also depends on where you're at in structure. It depends on what retracement type of retracement level you're at. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on all of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it's never gonna be, like I told you, never gonna be just one set stone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm only getting
Yeah.
on in 15, or I'm only getting in on M5. Like, no, it's everything.
Situational.
Everything is situational. Everything can change up like that. You know what I mean? And you have to be ready to adapt. How are you ready to adapt? By taking in information, being able to trade, being able to stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? Being able to
Yeah.
manage your trades, being able to really do the things it takes as a professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what else is going on the outside world. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do, like, that's why I even love, like, I'm a boxing fan, right? Like, and I love Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with everything, like, he had this fight that just happened last Saturday. He had a whole bunch of turmoil that happened the week before his fight. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Boy got locked up. Boy going through it with his baby mama. You know what I'm saying? All type of things. Still came out and TKO, bro. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Still undefeated, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and that just goes to show the psychology and the mindset and how really mind over matter. Like, when you focused up and you locked in on what you want and the bigger goals, bro, like, you're gonna be able to do it. You're gonna be able to get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just
That's
got to do what it takes.
I was telling my peoples about that. Like for me now, it's and even just working on the demo, like I've been able to like trick my brain into thinking that it's real money so that I can understand the
Mhm.
emotion side of it. Like, no, I'm not trying to lose this. Or let me not get in this, or you know what I mean? Like, because I understand how in this world I could see how trading it definitely releases some type of dopamine when you're seeing
Hell
these
yeah.
type of bullish, you know what I mean? These when you in profit and things like that. So I'm understanding that now, but I'm also understanding the risk because I've messed up some of my demos accounts already and I felt like it was real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had to like really tell myself like dude, like it don't matter. Like I gotta get it no matter what happens. Even if I'm at my lowest, whatever. But the only thing that it's like the worst that can happen is that you fail. Like and I think failure is just you not trying, giving up.
Yeah.
You know what
Worse
I
is you giving up. Worse is you
mean?
stopping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Other than that, we could fix everything else.
exactly. So like to me, I'm like, yo, this is just repetition. Like
Yeah.
I think the only difference between, me and somebody else who's been in the game is time and hours in.
Yeah.
So like I understand I gotta
In passion and dedication towards the craft. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because somebody could be in this shit for 8 years and being the same, doing the same lots, doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And somebody could be 8 months in, 2 years in, and killing it,
Yeah.
scaling. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on like where you at and where you want to go and how hungry you are, how bad you want it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, bro, like that's all it's about, bro. Like and really being intentional, having a plan with this shit. You have a plan with it, bro. Like you gonna be able to do numbers. You gonna
Mm-hmm.
be able to do numbers because you have a plan. You're not being iffy about things. Like you said, I ain't really have to manage because I had a TP. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had a plan. You had a plan. It's different. It's different when you got a plan. I got a TP. So
It's
one thing, I ain't got to worry about nothing else. It hit my TP. I'm good for the day. Like
facts.
that's what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear, oh man, like that I was going through it and then it came back to I let it come back to my entry and da da da. Like, no, bro, like you had a plan. That's what it's about. You close 60 pips. That's what it's about. Risk to reward. Like at the end of the day, they're gonna ask you how much money you made.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, they're not gonna give a fuck about nothing else, bro. They're gonna ask you, what's the money made? How much money was made?
Right,
You know
right.
what I
That's
mean? You got it to put in the pot
I
when
want to
it's
say
time to invest. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's about. So it's like just keep sharpening your tool, man, and stay in your lane, stay on your journey, stay on your grind. 60 pips, 60 pips, 60 pips, 60 pips. I'm
and I
telling
ain't
you.
gonna hold you. I thank you too, bro, because you last call you told me because I told you I was aiming for like what I think I said like 20 to 30. You go, nah, bro, you should be aiming for 70
Mhm.
because there's what it moves up, 150 to almost 200 a day. Why you shooting
Catch
for
that.
20, 30?
Yeah, you can catch that. You can catch
Yeah,
decent lot size, decent lot size. Like ain't nobody saying you gotta go crazy. Decent lot size. You can catch that. You can do that. You can risk 20 pips.
facts, facts.
Why
You
not?
know,
You know what I'm saying? You have the skill. You have the skill set. You
yeah,
have
so I think you're pushing me, you're challenging me. So now I appreciate that because I'm like, hold on. I'm like, nah, if bro say that, it's because one, he believes that I could do it.
oh
So I
fact.
got to see that for myself too. And another thing too that helped is instead of looking at like dollar signs, instead of like how much money you made or how much did I do today, I'm focused on how many pips did I catch.
Right.
How many pips am I catching? Because that it's different for some reason. It's just different
It
than
is.
thinking about it as dollar signs.
It
And I
is.
think when I'm
It's
thinking
gonna
about it,
add up. It's gonna add up because you
yeah,
gotta place another trade. That's why I be telling people all the time. It's like, bro, you gotta place another trade.
yeah,
You're gonna have to trade again. So like this one trade, like don't get married. Don't
mm-hmm.
trip on it. Like catch your pips, do what you need to do, move on. Add to the balance, move on. Add
Boom,
to
yeah,
the balance, move on. Add to the balance, move on.
yeah.
Withdraw. Boom. Start over, build, build, build. Like that's what it's about. Like that's part of the game. You know what I'm
Rinse and
saying?
repeat,
Like
rinse
until
and
you get to a space where it's like, okay, I got to the space where I done built up so many accounts where I can put a big ass chunk in here and now I can maintain. You know what I mean? I can maintain, and that's when it really get fun. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when it's 5K withdrawals, 10K withdrawals, 20K withdrawals, 50K withdrawals. You know what I'm saying?
repeat. Yeah,
Are you so used to building that it's nothing, bro? Like, and you interacting with the markets different at that time. It's like now I interact with the markets when I feel like interacting. Like I'm not pressed to as soon as market open on Sunday, I press to put in the trade or
yep.
NY open. Oh, I got a trade. Like, no, bro. Like it's you interacting with the markets from such a different space. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. And it
Facts.
helps. It just helps where, like you say, TPs get hit, maintaining gets easier, the quality of your trades gets smoother, your entries start to get smoother. The risk that you're risking becomes nothing to where it's time to start upping the lots. Like all of that money start moving faster, start hitting bigger days quicker. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. And then it's gonna come to the point where you can choose: is it the pips y'all want or is it the money y'all want? You know what I'm saying? Then you can choose. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like